The following presentation contains information about applying for financial aid, requirements to continue to receive aid, and types of financial aid. Students must complete the free application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA, each year to be packaged for federal and state financial aid for the next academic year. Information about federal financial aid, including the FAFSA application, may be found at studentaid.gov. The FAFSA typically opens on October 1st, but the opening of the 2024-2025 FAFSA will be delayed until December due to extensive changes in the FAFSA form. The Missouri priority deadline to complete the FAFSA is typically February 1st. Dependency status is determined by the responses to a series of questions on the FAFSA. Dependent students must provide parental income information on the FAFSA each year. Schools may override the dependency status in limited situations where there is a serious family problem beyond the control of the student. Potential situations include an abusive or unsafe family environment, abandonment, or the inability to locate parents. Students wishing to appeal their dependency status may find instructions in the Forms section of Northwest's Office of Scholarships and Financial Assistance website. Approximately one-third of all submitted FAFSAs are selected for verification. Students whose FAFSAs must be verified must submit documentation to the Office of Financial Assistance to show that information submitted on the FAFSA is accurate. While most of the FAFSAs selected for verification are chosen randomly, FAFSA changes and the use of estimated tax figures will usually result in the necessity to verify the FAFSA. Students selected for verification should submit documentation as soon as possible, as financial aid cannot be packaged or posted until the documents are received. The FAFSA is based on prior tax year information. For example, the 2023-2024 FAFSA and financial aid is based on 2021 tax information. Students whose families have had a substantial change in their financial situation since the tax year used for the FAFSA may use a special conditions form to request that their financial aid package be adjusted to more accurately reflect their current financial circumstances. The special conditions form can be found on the Financial Assistance website. The federal government requires all colleges and universities to monitor student use of federal financial aid. Students must meet Satisfactory Academic Progress, or SAP, criteria in order to receive federal and state financial aid. While SAP criteria are similar to the University Academic Progress Standards, SAP review is independent from all other academic reviews on campus. For example, a student may be in good academic standing at Northwest and still lose financial aid due to not meeting SAP criteria. SAP is reviewed for all students at the end of each trimester. There are 3 satisfactory academic progress requirements continuing students must meet in order to receive federal and state financial aid. First, students must be in good academic standing as determined by their college or university. Northwest students with 30 or more credit hours must have a minimum cumulative Northwest grade point average of 2.0, and freshmen must have a minimum cumulative Northwest GPA of 1.75 to meet this SAP criteria. The second SAP requirement is that students must have a 67% cumulative completion rate or pass 2/3 of all attempted credit hours. The third SAP requirement is that students must complete their undergraduate degree program within the maximum time frame of 180 attempted credit hours. Other maximum time frame limits apply to individual scholarship and waiver programs. Students not meeting satisfactory academic progress criteria may petition for the return of financial aid by submitting a written statement explaining the reasons the student was unable to meet the SAP criteria and documentation to support the student's claims. 2 types of financial aid that do not have to be repaid are grants and scholarships. Grant eligibility is determined by financial need. Scholarships are awarded based on merit, though some have a need component. Some scholarships are renewable for future academic years. Be aware of renewal criteria. Loans must typically be repaid. Student loan repayment may be deferred until the recipient has been out of school for 6 months. Federal subsidized loans do not accrue interest while the student is in school, but federal unsubsidized loans begin to accrue interest immediately. Federal student loan borrowers must complete both entrance counseling and a direct loan master promissory note before the loan can be applied to the student bill. These can be found at studentaid.gov. Private student loan options are available for students with unmet need. A list of private loan lenders may be found on the Northwest Office of Scholarships and Financial Assistance website. One private loan option available to students meeting the income and grade point average or ACT criteria is the Moffelt loan. This loan has a 0% interest rate and less rigorous credit criteria. Dependent students are often packaged with a Parent Plus loan. If a parent wishes to borrow money on behalf of the student, they may apply for a Plus loan at studentaid.gov. If the parent is approved, they must complete a master promissory note and the student must accept the Parent Plus loan in cap pause to link the loan to the student's account. Repayment on a Plus loan can begin right away or be deferred while the student is enrolled. If a Parent's Plus loan is denied, the student receives additional unsubsidized loan eligibility in their own name. Some student employees may be earning federal work-study awards during their work experience, while others are earning regular pay. Work-study is awarded to students as part of their financial aid package. To be eligible for federal work-study, a student must complete a FAFSA and have financial need as determined by the federal methodology. Work-study eligible students are sometimes given priority for campus jobs as their wages are paid by federal funding rather than the departmental budget. Though work-study is a part of the financial aid package, earnings from work-study are paid directly to the student worker. The student may choose whether to apply earnings to their student bill or not. Once the student worker has exceeded federal eligible work-study eligibility, the student's wages are paid by departmental funding. A student must be enrolled in a minimum of 6 credit hours during any trimester to be eligible for student employment, including the summer term. A student may work during the entire summer trimester, even in a session in which the student is not taking a class, as long as they are enrolled in a total of 6 credit hours sometime throughout the summer sessions. Vocational Rehabilitation and the Missouri Job Center are two resources that help qualifying students pay for college. Vocational Rehabilitation provides services for students with a documented disability. The Missouri Job Center administers grant programs for qualifying students. Please contact these resources directly for application and eligibility information. Students receive a refund when the financial aid applied to their student account exceeds their student bill. Some students use their refunds to pay for off-campus housing, meals, and living expenses. Some students save the refund to be applied to future educational expenses, especially for taking summer classes since summer financial aid is limited. While these are valid uses for a financial aid refund, it is important to take out only the amount of loans needed. Students are not required to make payments on their student loans while they are enrolled in classes, but they may make payments on their loans at any time. Please contact the Northwest Office of Scholarships and Financial Assistance or the TRIO Student Support Services Financial Literacy Coordinator, Nikki Richardson, with any questions.